Hello, welcome to the the first episode of 6 for a mini series on mini series on Romanian wine and why you should be drinking it. I have been lucky enough for Gem Wines, a wine distributor and importer, to send me 6 bottles of Romanian wine for me to talk about and sort of spread the word a little bit, which was extraordinarily kind of them, and I thank them. To give you a little breakdown of Romania to start with, Romania has been making wine for a long time, and they were visible and available and big across Europe prior to communism. They had dessert wine that was up there, rivaling Tokaj of Hungary, the name of which momentarily escapes me. They had reds and whites that were drunk all over the place, and to the point that even now, despite communism, etc., they are still the 7th largest producer of wine. Now, not a lot of that is worthy of export. Some of it is going to be sold at the side of roads. Some will be made in sheds by Bob and Margaret, or the Romanian equivalent of Bob and Margaret. But there are several producers that are really doing amazing things with both noble varieties, which means the international ones, and their own indigenous varieties that need to be noticed. And I think that the UK market is a brilliant place because consumers like yourselves, the fact you're watching this is proof that you want to learn about new wines, new grapes, new things to be trying. So here we go. Okay, so yeah, Romania is, despite the fact it's got almost 500,000 hectares under vine, it is still a net importer of wine, which is why you don't see a lot of it around. It still brings in more than it puts out. It must be fun in Romania if you've got 500,000 hectares and you're still having to get some more in. Perfect. So we are going to start with a red, which is unusual for me, from Romania. It's made by Metamorfosis. Now, the reason I'm starting with this is that this particular estate was co-founded and is 77% owned by the Antinori family. Now, if you know your Italian wines, you'll know that Antinori are massive. So these are the guys behind Tignanello, arguably the first super Tuscan wine in the world. They're huge in Tuscany. They make crazy good wine. They've got 7 or 8 estates across Italy, but they've also got 2 estates in Napa Valley, like Stag's Leap and Antica. You've got Col Soler in Washington, in the Columbia Valley. You've got an estate in Hungary, an estate in Malta. There is another one, and you've got this estate in Romania. Now, if the Antinori family are involved, it's got to be worth looking at. That's the reason I've started with it. I got really excited when I did a little bit of reading on the house itself, and yeah, apparently the reason that Antinori got interested is that soil in Dealu Mare, which is where this is from, which is in the southeast quarter of Romania, just in the foothills of the Subcarpathian Mountains, and between 2 rivers, the names of which I can't pronounce. Apparently the soil is very, very similar to Tuscany, and it's also it's pretty much the same latitude as France. So everything should be perfect because you've got the ocean down towards the south. You've got that between, so the ocean is here, Dealu Mare is there, and the mountains are there. So you've got loads of windbreaks, and basically you can have your own little microclimate, which will give you lovely hot summers, cold winters, but it reduces the rainfall. Those happen either in the mountains or on the other side. And then because you've got rainfall and snow in the mountains, you've got irrigation, you've got snowmelt, you've got the 2 rivers, the water level's good, you've got lots of nutrients being washed down. It's a great little spot to make wine. It is also named in, which book was it? Yes, the World Atlas of Wine, 7th edition. Dealu Mare is picked out as the region that's making the most interesting and exciting reds of all of Romania. So it's definitely one to get behind. Now, this is made using the Fateasca Neagra, which means Black Maiden, which is a cool name. That's how you, obviously you'll have to read that one backwards, but that's how you make that. So this is from 2015. Now, Fateasca Neagra has a similar kind of flavour profile to Cabernet Sauvignon, so it's big on black currant, black cherry, big blackberry fruits, In fact, it smells like a Bordeaux off the bat. Well, a Cabernet from France off the bat. It's got a little hint of sort of vegetal, gritty, mossy undertones. Cinnamon, bit of toast, clove. If in a blind tasting, I'd put that down as a Cabernet from France for about 15 quid, which means I should not answer any calls to a Eastern European blind tasting anytime soon, because I'll get laughed out of the room. Anyway, so Romania uses its fair share of the noble varieties, so you'll find Syrah, Merlot, Cabernet, Pinot Blanc, Chardonnay, little bit of Sauvignon, you know, all the sort of the usual suspects, but they make some fabulous stuff with indigenous varieties as well. So I'm starting with the Fateasca Neagra. I've got a white blend with a muscat and I think it's called a Tamiosa, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll do the video on that one tomorrow when I've got a better idea of how to say it, which would be good. Anyway, yeah, so the wine. Now, obviously, as you can see, it's got a lovely dark colour, although the lighting in here is not very good with this wine glass. It's coming out of a Riedel wine glass. I highly recommend Riedel. They're phenomenal glasses. Pricey, but worth it. Lovely. So really dark, really dense, got good legs, good body. Okay, so packs a fair amount of punch, but it's not unbalanced. So it's 14.5%. That'd be why. The acidity is really bright, really fresh, despite the fact it's 2015. The acidity is still there. It's still kicking, keeping the wine bright. If people say a wine is bright, it means it's got really vibrant acidity. The tannins are lovely and grainy. They're across the roof of my mouth. They're across the back of my tongue. They're making me do that a lot, but all it's doing is enhancing the finish, which is going on and on. I can still taste the wine now. There is the tiniest little warmth here. Now that is a slight imbalance towards the alcohol content, but at 14.5%, it's getting really tricky to try and really encapsulate all of that, and it might just be down to another couple of years in bottle, maybe even 6 months. Just give it some more time to sit and round out and let it develop to itself. Now, if I had 2 years to lay all the rest of the reds down, then I would, but the people at Gem Wines wouldn't be very happy with me about taking their wine and then not doing anything with it for 2 years, 2.5 years. But there we are. Anyway, as I say, in a blind tasting, I'd put that down as a young claret for about 15 quid. Now, on the Metamorphosis website, this comes out at 35 Li. I didn't even know they weren't using euros, if I'm honest. Shows my ignorance. Which works out at about 8 quid, which is ridiculous. Obviously, there's no import on that. There's no margin to be made by a middle person, so it's not surprising. But it does show the quality of wine that is available from countries you might not normally go to. Now, the very fact that you either read my website once or occasionally, or you're a religious follower, thank you. The very fact you're here and you watch my videos and you're doing all this is because you want to know about different wine, new wine. You want to have a little bit of a grounding across everything in wine. I mean, if you're a Burgundy specialist, I'm not your guy. And you're a specialist already, you don't need me. But I'm here to show you something different. Now, this is what Gem are trying to do, and they're doing a lot of work in sort of trade shows, in consumer shows. So the Love Wine festivals, you can pick up tickets for I think 20 quid a pop in major cities. They do one in Birmingham, in London, in Edinburgh. They do the Tom Canavan wine shows. Obviously, that's big in Scotland. All kinds of wine shows. Look on all of these wine shows have like an exhibitors page. Just look for Gem. Chances are you'll speak to a lovely lady called Elena on the stand. She's the lady who I originally contacted or spoke to at the Love Wine Birmingham show in order to start doing this with them, which was great. So go along and try these wines. I've got 2 reds, 3 whites, and a rosé. I think they're on the rack. But 20 quid for 3 hours, where you can find new interesting stuff like this, co-owned by one of the biggest names in Italian wine. That's pretty cool. It's also rather lovely, which is great. So that's the red, big, bolshy, balanced, beautiful black fruit, loads of body. It's just lovely, grippy tannins. It's good for those of you who like Southern Italian, young French red, the Bolshia stuff from the Languedoc. Rioja drinkers, like you like a big Rioja, not the if you like a Grand Reserve or like soft, delicate, subtle Rioja. This is not for you. But you look Rioja Crianza, something that will, or a Joven, something that's designed to take the enamel off your teeth. I'd definitely give that a go. If you can find it. Now, I haven't. I must admit, I've never seen Metamorphosis in the shops, but I would definitely keep an eye out for either Fateasca Neagra or Romanian red from Dealu Mare. Now, you'll also see Romania's got 7 wine regions, and I don't know all them all, otherwise I'd reel them off. But that Dealu Mare is, as I say, down in the southeast. Up in the northeast, you've got Romanian Moldova, which makes the most wine from all Romania. That's probably more likely to find on your more of your specialist independent retailers' shelves than a supermarket maybe. But I do think Asda did a Fateasca Neagra not too long ago, because I remember looking at it and thinking, oh, I never got around to it. So yeah, give it a go. The next one will be a white, which is this Muscatel Tamiosa blend, and we'll see where we go from that. But I'll see you next time.